only.
I'm starting the recording. Yeah.
Now?
Done. Yes, correct.
Yes.
Carry on.
Hi guys. Today we're in our 5th class. So give me a minute. URL structure mapping and internal linking strategies. We'll learn this today. This is actually an interesting thing. It looks small from outside, but it is quite interesting and it is a little bit long. I think this is the longest PPTs we guys had in this course. So URLs. So the basic things. Every time when if you know what is URL, let's again talk what is URL. URL is more commonly known as the web address. You can use HTTP, HTTPS, FTP. Usually you might see HTTP and HTTPS. You better have your site get HTTPS, and I had taught you how to do that by Cloudflare and by Let's Encrypt. When you get a security uh, stuff from there, you get HTTPS, and it shows that your website is secure. So what this is the sample www.htm exampledomain.com HTTP here, and you can use it should be less than 2083 characters so that all browsers can render it properly. So talking about the optimal format, we need to do http www.example.com category hyphen keyword subcategory hyphen keyword then primary keyword. So I will give you an example here. Let's see a website for that. Why not let's see backlinko.com. I am a fan of Backlinko. Back in the days I used to follow it a lot. You guys can also follow it. It's fun and it gives a great idea about the things. He's a expert in SEO and this Shout Me Loud also was a good SEO company. So this is backlinko.com, and this you can go for blog. So when you go for the blog, the slash blog, it is not slash anything else, it is showing slash blog. So then we come to an article, then it is showing search engine ranking because it is teaching you about search engine ranking. So he preferred URL to show it search engine ranking so that it becomes easier for you guys when you search in Google, and then it helps in SEO. Even when things come to Google, it's always about SEO. Yeah, sometimes when you pay, it becomes for AdWords, but when you don't pay, it's all about SEO. So first one, why do URLs matter for SEO? Improved user experience. A well-crafted URL provides both humans and search engine an easy to understand indication of what the destination page will be about. See, when you see about Canon EOS 6D in-depth review, digital photography review, you can see that the website name, reviews, it comes under the reviews section, then it names the camera here. I hope this is a camera here. So when you see this link like this, it means it is proper URL structure according to SEO. So you should do the things like this whenever you make a website. So people do not focus more on URL, but you need to focus on these small things because these are the small things which combine to make big SEO stuff. So now we'll come to ranking. It's a little bit more. So URLs are a minor ranking factor. Yeah, the things we talk like HTTPS and all these they are minor. Like if you have a good content and your competitor has same level content and he is ranking above you, then URL comes to play. That is the time when URL comes to play. While they do give way to authority of the overall domain itself, keyword used in a URL can also act as a ranking factor. So keyword rank. So keyword use, how you use the keyword, like Canon phone, then slash Canon. If I'm talking about Redmi Note 5 Pro, then it is slash Redmi Note 5 Pro. That makes the things more easier. While using a URL that includes keywords can improve your site's search visibility. Obviously, well, because when Google can read that URL and it knows that okay, this is about this, then it helps you to increase your site's visibility in Google search engine. URLs themselves generally do not have a major impact on a page ability to rank, but they are worth to thinking about, because don't create otherwise unuseful URLs to simply include a keyword in them. So you need to know which keywords you want, and you can never make the same because if you write two articles about Canon, let's say in Redmi Note 5 Pro, you cannot have Redmi Note 5 Pro in both of them. So you need to be more specific about that. We will talk more in this class only. So the best SEO practices for URLs: keeping URLs as simple, relevant, compelling, and accurate as possible. This is the first thing. URLs should define your objective, but they should be small. Like it should be like Telegram stuff. Like you should convey the message, but it should be small. When necessary for readability, use hyphens to separate words. So always make sure that you use uh, hyphens to separate the words there, like Redmi Note Pro, so that people know what to read. Use lowercase letters because when you use lowercase letters, then it becomes easy. In some cases, uppercase letters can cause issues with duplicate pages. So that's why I always prefer all time lowercase. Avoid the use of URL parameters if possible, as they can create issues with tracking and duplicate content. If parameters needs to be used, use them sparingly. So I don't think you guys will need to use the parameters. So you can skip the last part, but the top four one, in any company you go, you need this four. So this was about URL. URL was really small part of uh, every SEO talks, but they are as important as other parts. So now we are moving to what are internal links. Why are internal links important for SEO? So we will know what are internal links. Let's search for some internal links here. So what can be an internal link according to you? Like any site, you can see the link here. Measure for using href domain rating. It can go to external href website, or it can lead to another article in the same website, backlinko.com. So if it leads to the same website of another page of same website, then this will be called internal linking. But if it leads to different website, then it will be known as external linking. I'm sorry. So you will find a lot here, a lot of yellow words here. So I'm sorry, this thing opened up. So what are internal links? Internal links are hyperlinks that point to pages on the same domain. As I said, same website, same domain are the same thing here. These are different than external links, which link out to the pages on other domains, which I said, like if it gives you to, if it moves you to external domain, then the external, those are called external links. Internal links help Google find, index, and understand all the pages of your site. If you use them strategically, internal links can send page authority, also known as page rank, to important pages. So you can know about this. Let's I use hrefs again for that. I had on the site for internal link backlinks of backlinko. I need to open maybe internet is so yeah. Site link backlinko.com. So here we can find the top pages, and then here we can find the best pages by link, best by links. So when you go to the best links one, you can know that how the page rank works. They will be rated by UR. in Ahrefs, and in some pages, in some websites are rated by PA, page authority, and in some pages they are rated by PR itself, which is page rank. In short, internal linking is key for any site that wants to rank higher ranking, that wants higher rankings in Google. Like if you want higher rankings in Google, internal is the first thing you will do. You might be thinking about external backlinks. You might be thinking of getting from backlinks, but you might be thinking about content. Content is important, but after that, if you think of anything, that's internal linking. So always prepare your website for internal ranking. That's highly important. So link to important pages, link to internal important pages. Like if I'm thinking, like let's say my website is talking more about top 10 phones and top 10 electronic gadgets, and I have separate articles for reviews of specific electric gadgets. So I will be internal linking them, like from let me say top 10 phone under 15,000, and I put the name Redmi Note 5 Pro there. So and I wrote another specific review for Redmi Note 5 Pro. So I will do what? I will internally link these two articles so that they pass on some juices for each other. Link juices, I mean. So we call them link juices. So you check page authority here. You can see the backlinko.com. I took the screenshot here. So backlinko.com, the main domain is usually at the top, followed by others. So we can see here also same. Where we go, best by links. So these are some top pages which you can see each page has a value, and you can see the value, how many dollars they are valuing. So if you are thinking that digital marketing is that small and that cheap, then it's not. See now, by the time we are coming here now, it's already 83. The main top website is 83. The second following is 83. Referring domains, the domains that are getting referred, the external links they have. Here you can see the difference between the main website and the other pages of the website, and you can see that all are rated highly. So anything above 50 is always a good score. Even for a starter, you can get something above 30, and uh, you can think that it's really good. So this guy has been working for a long time, so he has already reached here. So that's how you check your page authority. Then you will come back to don't use the same anchor text for two different pages. Anchor text. I will talk about an anchor text in the next few images. So, and I will come back to this slide again. So anchor text here. Grain-free chocolate chip cookies and low-carb chocolate chip cookies. And here, what I do is like in this image, let me give a slide so that you can see it properly. Here I make chocolate chip cookies the anchor text. The one which was showing up in yellow in Backlinko are the anchor text. So if I am using chocolate chip cookies for grain-free chocolate chip cookies, and again chocolate chip cookies for low-carb chocolate chip cookies, in internal linking, I'm not talking about the external linking. External linking, you can do that. But for internal linking, if you're doing this, then it is wrong. Because if you are making your website compete with your own page, and that's not a great idea. So you have to make it a long tail. So I will come back here now again. This confuses the heck out of Google. For example, let's say you have two pages on your site. One is about grain-free chocolate chip cookies, and the other is low-carb chocolate chip cookies. And we came to that image. The second image, this one is correct. So what we know from this image is like here I made one anchor text, grain-free chocolate chip cookies, and here it links up to this article where it is about grain-free chocolate chip cookies. And here again I come to low-carb chocolate chip cookies, and I link it up with the article of low-carb chocolate chip cookies. But this is not the article name here. Let's make sure that if you think that you write the article name and make it anchor text, then that doesn't work. It is about what the article is. Like let's say in this previous article I was talking about chocolate chip cookies, and grain free and low carb one were part of it. So from there I wrote another review, and in that it is about this. So we link up like that. It is not the title of article. These are sort of long tail keyword we say. Then put links high up on your page. Usually if you put those, the one we saw in yellow in backlink, or if you put them higher, the Google likes it, and many people will come and click on this. If they click on those and they see another articles of your website, that means it lowers your bounce rate. Bounce rate is something. What is bounce rate? Now we'll talk. Bounce rate is this rate that where people come to see your website, they just go back after watching the first page. They don't go to the second page. So as an digital marketer, we need to lower that. The lower the bounce rate, the better it is, and the Google loves it usually. So usually most of the sites struggle with the bounce rate. So if you can lower it down to 30%, below 30 or 40%, that's usually a good deal. And Google also love that when you make it go from one article to another, and people watch it for a longer time, Google love it. We call it dwell time also. Like let's say 4 minutes. Let's say someone is in a website for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is too much, by the way. But even if it is 4 minutes and 5 minutes, that's a good deal actually. So what does this has to do with SEO? When someone spends a long time on your site, it tells Google that people are loving this result. So it means like if you are looking something for a longer duration of time, it's always that you like it. Like for example, let's say you are looking at a beautiful scenery. If you look at it, if you are looking for a longer time, wow, this is really good. Then if you are looking at it because you are loving that result. So that's what Google sees, and it helps you to move up a few spots. And that few spots, it's actually more than a few slots. It's like a really good amount, which can actually help you to grow your website. So always remember, the bounce rate should be less. That's why the link should be higher. And if you have a higher link, that means it also increases your dwelling time. If it is increasing the dwelling time, if the viewers are watching it for a longer duration, that's a good thing for you. See, this was the image which I made so that you can know that more the time, the higher the ranking. So that doesn't mean you ask someone to go and watch your website for an hour and 2 hour. That doesn't work. It's like more people watching it for more time, that helps. Do follow links. Okay. Now we are. This is interesting. No follow and do follow. What is no follow? No follow is something like in Facebook. Why we don't take backlinks from Facebook? Because they never provide you with do follow. But as a blogger, as a website owner, you have a right to provide do follow or no follow. So if you are giving internal links to your website, you should have it do follow. Do follow means something like you can follow it up directly, and no follow is something like it doesn't link up. It just shows you that okay, this is a link, and you just go and know that. But I'm talking about no follow and do follow because initially when you make a blog or you make a website, you will always by default be giving do follow links. But there are some plugins which obstruct you from giving the do follow links. So you need to check them from time to time to know if this your links are do follow or not. So always when you are that the better way is to always when you construct a website and if you're interlinking your pages and home pages and other pages, then check by that time if that link is do follow or no follow. Use internal links to help with indexing. Indexing is like Google does not come and read your website. You have to index them. Sometimes if you don't index them, it takes time for it. So internal linking is one part which helps your pages to get indexed in Google search engine. So the quicker it indexes, the better results it give you. So internal linking, when you link it with the pages, then it helps you to uh, rank higher in you start your thing in Google search engine. Internal linking to that page or page category from your site's navigation page. Internal link to orphan page, or you can do this main navigation category archive then orphan page. You can just give one. That's better. Usually when you give one by step, then it gives that it passes on the link juice to every pages, and it helps you. Similar with URL ranking, like your website name, category, then the last article related keyword. Similarly, you do the internal linking also. And this is direct from one page to another. Actually, that is not that much negative, but it's still fine. You can do that, but I prefer the second method. then you can link from your sitemap to the page you want to get indexed. For sitemaps, you can get plugins, and that helps you, and you can link them to your page directly. Link strategically from your homepage. That's what I meant by telling that from category to category, achieve then orphan. This third one is the highest important thing. See, you go for homepage, then you go for to the blog feed. Why I told blog feed here? Because if your website is itself a blog, then it's fine, you go with category and stuffs. But when your website is with if the company you are working, they are not a blog. Like for example, the Raw Institute is not a blog. So you go from homepage because that's the main website. Then they might be having a blog section. If they don't have a blog section, they need to have it actually. If they don't have, their digital marketing is not that strong, I will mean from that. And blog section, then from blog section they will link up with the blog articles pages. So that's how you link up things, and that makes the things look more beautiful. So that's all about internal linking. So I think how it will be helpful is that if you see through the ppts and you note down these things, then it will be easier for you to remember, or else the thing will be that you will be confused in the future. So always note down this thing. I would really suggest you to note down when you see the pdf, because at the end of the day, the certificate will just give you a start. But if you learn something from it, you can actually reach the end, and you can actually get a good package. So thank you for that's it for today. It was more about infographics and stuffs. I tried to make it a little bit interesting for you guys to read the pdf. And today we dealt all about on-page SEO. Focusing on them can make you have your own space in the field of on-page SEO. Till now, we studied a few things which were related to on-page SEO. Yesterday, one link reporting strategy which dealt with both on and off. Today, the URL mapping and this linking strategy, which both are totally on-page SEO. So, guys, that was it for today. And any doubts or anything? Hello? Any doubts? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, any doubts?
Sir, I have a doubt regarding keywords actually. What is a long tail keywords?
Long tail keyword. I remember when I was teaching the keyword finding strategies and all. That time I was telling you, long tail keyword is something like, let's say, Redmi. Redmi is a phone, right? Phone's brand. That's a short tail. But when I want to make it long tail, is like Redmi Note. That makes it long tail, because Redmi was my main word, and Note 5 Pro was the auxiliary words there. Or if let's say my website is all about Redmi Note 5 Pro, then technical points of Redmi Note 5 Pro, that can be a long tail keyword. So long tail keywords are something like which you think that is less searched than the short one, but it can help you in longer one also. I hope you understand, Abhishek.
Yes, sir.
That's cool. Any more doubts, guys? Okay, so it's fine. So today's class is getting over now. Have a nice time, guys. See you next class.
Thank
I
you.
hope we have more three classes left. I hope if you guys have doubt, try to reread them and get them. And if you don't understand, you can just ping me. I'm always there, like 24/7. You can say. See you.